Since the 1980s, there has been continuous public debate within our country about the desirability of taking a second look at the Constitution of India in the light of the rich experience of democratic practice gained since 1947. This debate has acquired a new urgency in recent years, partly because of the instability in apex politics and partly also because legal experts, individual politicians, and organized political groups within the country feel the need for some changes in our system of governance to render it more efficient and open to popular participation. When we consider the Constitution as it was framed in 1950, it is important to remember that there was a prehistory to Constitution framing in the British India. Para, our imperial rulers has attempted to create constitutional systems with limited democratic sanctions in 1909, in 1999, and in 1935. These constitutions drew upon certain principles which we can repeat with profit today. According to democratic theory, constitutions can either be constructed on their basis of weak principles or they can rest upon liberal principles. Weak constitutions attempt to mobilize like minded social communities and interest groups, while liberal constitutions reach out to the individual citizen and are based upon territorial constituencies. The British created weak instead of liberal constitutions in India because through drawing upon vested interests within society they could strengthen their rule by coming into existence counterpoised social groups. Para, in contrast to the constitutional structure drafted by the British, the nationalist leadership has attempted to create a truly liberal prescriptive framework for a liberated India in 1928. This constitution rested upon the adoption of adult franchise. Such a recommendation was a revolutionary measure in view of the fact that democratic theory does not necessarily advocate the extension of voting rights to those who are illiterate, nor does it support the provision of voting rights for those who are devoid of property. Needless to say, in the period in question, the majority of Indians did not satisfy either of these conditions. When we interrogate the nationalists' debate on the business of an appropriate constitution for India in the last phase of the freedom struggle, we discover that there was considerable difference of opinion on the desirable relationship between a pan-Indian center of governance on the one hand and the regional centers of governance on the other. This should also be taken note of.